You have to focus on being enterprising and on entrepreneurship. Right. So just as you are making payments with UPI, a ULI will come along in exactly the same way. The RBI will be able to give you loans directly into your wallet in a short time. And that will be possible at a low interest rate because the process of de-dollarization is underway. So as more power comes to the rupee, a lot of citizens will be able to get direct loans right on their e-wallets. So the funds that you need for entrepreneurship, basically, just like they did with Amazon, Google, Microsoft, they built all of these companies with free money. Zero. If you take the average of the last 30 years, America's interest rate was 0 to 3%. Free money. It is almost free money. Even a complete fool can innovate with free money. What is so new about it? So they completely exploited the reserve currency status that the dollar has. They were able to do all their innovation with that free money. And not only did they do that, they also went and messed with all the standards, all the indexes. They messed with every single one, like the per capita index. There cannot be a more foolish index than this one. Because if all the wealth is held by one single person, the country's per capita number will still come out looking exactly the same. Total wealth divided by the number of population. There cannot possibly be a more foolish index than that. Right now, 27% of Americans are taking out loans just to buy groceries. Do you understand? So what can I even say about that per capita? It is high per capita. They did the exact same kind of mischief when it comes to the GDP. In the GDP formula, it is investment plus consumption. One is a capital item, one is a revenue item. Now, any 11th grade commerce student could tell you that if I have to measure financial performance, how can you possibly add a revenue item with a capital item? They did it, and everyone's been going along with it from the IMF to all the other bodies. Why can they do it? Because of the reserve currency status. So today an American businessman takes a 10 crore loan, and tomorrow he will come and take another 20 crore loan. 0 to 3% interest rate, that is free money. You cannot beat them in GDP. They have combined consumption with investment. Do you understand the game that is being played at such a massive level? When they go and calculate the GDP for all the countries, they add a revenue item to a capital item and say we are at the top, above everyone else. So just try telling an Indian businessman who has taken a loan today to take another 10 crore loan tomorrow. At the 10 to 12% interest rate that Indian businessmen operate on, just ask an American to try and run a business like that. Right? So that is a free money world where there is no need for this kind of thing, when the money itself is free. Why would there be corruption there? Right? Traffic rules are followed perfectly. Why? Because he can afford to take a day off. When the money itself is completely free, why would he ever engage in corruption? So when we compare, we must first understand what is happening. Second, the entire manufacturing heft of China was built because of the free dollar supply from Wall Street, which also got them a complete technology transfer. They stole all their tech from the West. They got free dollars from Wall Street finance. Why? Because currency was printed here while production happened there. The world's currency is printed in one place and all the production is happening in just one place. Basically, the rest of the world is able to enjoy its democracy precisely by abusing the people of China. Because try manufacturing at that price point yourself and then you will see. And after doing all that, then they go and publish reports on China about labor abuse. Are you understanding what is going on here? So the dollar is the one deciding which city will be polluted. With its purchasing power, the dollar is deciding which cities will be polluted, and then they publish a climate report about you. All while keeping their own climate perfectly clean and their own natural resources completely intact. Using the purchasing power of the dollar, they take real goods from you make you work 12 hours a day, deplete your natural resources and pollute your city. And then they publish a report on you, a report about climate pollution. Do you understand what is happening here? So this whole field of geopolitics, once it was understood, a process of de-dollarization began. And that process, in my personal opinion, my own estimate is that it all started on the very day his visa was rejected. So on the day his visa was rejected, he went and told the media, I will make Americans line up right here for a visa. So from what I can understand, Shinzo Abe was the original concept man for the de-dollarization process. And after that, he went to Japan for 6 days. And it was decided that a special hub would be built between Ahmedabad and Gandhinagar in Gujarat that would go on to de-dollarize the entire world. From that, the GIFT City concept came. Then all of a sudden, Japan becomes a partner country to the state of Gujarat, and that is when the Vibrant Gujarat Summit started. After 2 or 3 Vibrant Gujarat Summits, the Gujarat model was ready. Now, if the entire world is to be de-dollarized, how will that happen? So the very concept of currency says that gold is the one and only real currency. That is the true currency. The rest is all fake. The rest are just entries. Call them digital entries or paper notes, whatever you want to call them. Gold is the only currency. Gold is the only asset which has zero credit risk, zero political risk, zero geopolitical risk, and zero default risk. These two are the other currencies, gold and silver. So there used to be gold and silver coins, and they would put the photo of the king and queen on them to make people trust that this is the currency. So whenever a complete financial reset has to be done, gold and silver have to be accumulated. So what will the kings do? They will demonetize the gold and silver coins and accumulate wealth. And they will issue even cheaper metal coins. So the simple rule for financial reset in the world is that you have to accumulate gold. So the Prime Minister is well aware that Indians have so much gold, more than the total of all the world's central banks combined. So first, he thought, let us do this. So the gold monetization scheme came first, but no one gave any. So as it turned out, nobody gave up their gold. It was a test run, you see, and a test of Sanatan. So then the Prime Minister said, okay, let's just go ahead and clean up the rupee first. So he did demonetization, and as soon as demonetization happened, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Maldives, UK all went bankrupt because they were all running their own economies by printing our counterfeit currency. Now, back in 1971, you have to keep in mind exactly how the reserve currency shifted from the pound over to the dollar. So the US said, I am not going to participate in the war. You must pay me for all of the war supplies in gold. So as soon as the European allies paid in gold and the gold was collected, the pound was removed and the dollar became the new reserve currency. Now, a new industrial complex was formed and they went into the Vietnam War. They went bankrupt, and this time the allies said, you can take your dollar, just give us our gold back because your economy is clearly going bankrupt. Remember, President Nixon appears on screen August 15, 1971. So why is August 15 selected? Well, August 15 is selected because they know that Indians have the most gold in the world, physical gold. August 15 is also selected because at that particular time in that year, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was selected as the most popular leader in a Gallup poll. So you see, they're already abusing the Indians. On August 15th, he comes on screen and says, no more gold standard. Meaning if you ask for gold in exchange for dollars, I will not give it. No payment of gold. And all the other currencies, because they were pegged to the dollar, they all totally became fiat currency, F-I-A-T. Now, fiat currency means you can print as much as you want, totally out of thin air, with no gold standard. There will be absolutely no payment in gold or silver in exchange. All currencies became fiat. In 1973, Kissinger goes and a deal is made with Saudi Arabia, the oil for security program. You sell crude oil in dollars and we will take care of your security. So in the entire world, as I explained in geopolitics, the two bucket theory. Every single nation was told, your neighbor is a thief and we are going to sanction them, which means you have to continue using the US dollar. So Europe is at the Russian border, Russia is at the Chinese border, China is at the Indian border, India is at the Pakistan border, Pakistan is at the Afghanistan border, Afghanistan is at the Iran border, Iran is at the Iraq border. Every country was told your neighbor is a thief, a rogue. We are going to sanction them and you will continue with the US dollar. And from this, Ukraine, POK, Taiwan, Iran, Israel, North Korea, South Korea, all of these different hotspots have been created. Only and only to keep the dollar's reserve currency status. We were partitioned after the Second World War. For those of you who do not know this. And in geopolitics, they discuss this again and again that we sided with Russia because the West did not support us. They do not know. They should read. There is a book called Stalin's Wars. In that book, it is written that as soon as the Second World War ended, there was a summit between Roosevelt, Stalin, and Churchill. And before that summit, Roosevelt tells Stalin, you keep India, let us not discuss it with Churchill. This part of history of geopolitics that people do not know is that we were actually already handed over to Russia. And the partition was created because a pocket of nations was to be given dollars and arms, and the one next to it had to be sanctioned. And only if both fight does the dollar maintain its reserve currency status. People need to understand this about the partition, why the historical partition even happened, where there were no enemies. Enemies were deliberately created through partition. And we, you see, were already handed over to Russia. So that socialist government remained until the 1991 reforms. Right, it was never our choice that we aligned ourselves with Russia, no. We were handed over because only if India and Pakistan continue to clash does the dollar maintain its reserve currency status. So one pocket of nations gets dollars and arms, the one next to it gets sanctions. The proof is when I visited Gaza in January 24. The Israeli forces told us that first cash goes to Palestine and only after that does the military supply of arms come here from the US. First the cash goes there. After that you are supplied with arms. So we need to understand that everywhere they have created this two bucket theory and by creating clashes kept the dollar as a reserve currency. As soon as the petrodollar was born in 1971, by creating a two bucket between Saudi Arabia and Iran, the entire thing, the radicalization process started in India. Suddenly, Salim Javed scripts started appearing. Suddenly, Amitabh Bachchan wore a badge with 786 on it, roaming around in temples asking questions. And then suddenly, Gulshan Kumar is murdered. Suddenly, those Khans came into Bollywood who before 71 actually had to change their names just to survive in Bollywood. The Khans came, love movies are on screen, love jihad is happening, and in every city, cop attacks are happening. All this love is being shown on the screen. It is done so that the properties on both sides of the highway can be bought with petrodollars. This is the entire process of radicalization. Because of the 1971 fiat dollar, if there was no dollar, the Khans would not have come to Bollywood. You have to understand how this radicalization process happened. 1979, Deng Xiaoping goes to President Carter and says, 50 cars are coming out of each of these factories. I want this technology. President Carter tells him, first, cut your consumption. Then I will give you the technology. When Deng Xiaoping returned, he imposed the brutal single-child policy on China. And the CIA was also told at that very same moment, from sterilization, they were also cutting our birth rate. The idea is that you people are our laborers, you will do manufacturing for us. Now we will just consume using currency. We will take 5 vacations a year, we will have weekends off, our climate will remain clean, and we will purchase everything again with currency. This was the idea. Now, what happened was that by the late 90s, their allies said that we want to de-dollarize. So they went ahead and launched a currency called the euro. The moment the euro currency was launched, America started to panic that the entire reserve currency bubble had accumulated in the IT sector because the entire sector was created artificially. Its valuation was fake and its payments were fake. And here the IITs were already set up in India for doing that menial coolie level work. There was no original research, just menial work while sitting on the bench. Billing hours were just inflated and billed to the US. We think we are fooling the US, but really the US is destroying our defense and space. So with the dollar, they bought whoever they could and simply took them away. And the people who could not be purchased with dollars, they were simply eliminated. A total of 1,500 scientists have been killed till date. DRDO and ISRO, 1,500. There is not a single case where Russia or China is involved, not even one. So all the people they could purchase with dollars, they took them away. This means that Bharatiya parents are raising their kids in dharmic way and then hand them over to America. They go and work in America, pay taxes, and with that tax money, the government over there takes care of the old American parents who never even had any children. And these people cannot even see their own parents' faces. It is all messed up. Do you see what is going on with the dollar? Just think about what all has happened because of the dollar. And they still were not satisfied with this. So an entire fake startup sector was created and foolish people were given awards and so many dollars were just printed and given out. The directive was to shut down all the offline shops in India. So for 4 or 5 years, Indian consumers have been thinking, how on earth is this product so cheap? And they just keep on purchasing. They have no idea that this e-commerce company has no profit at all. They were given printed dollars from over there to shut down all of their businesses and to convert everyone into a jobber. The poor customer, meanwhile, keeps taking discounts, keeps on buying, and is having a great time on e-commerce. This went on for 4 to 5 years. Dollars were printed and startup awards were given to these foolish kids. Dollars were printed and given from there, shut down everyone's entrepreneurship, shut down the entrepreneurship of all countries. So that poor guy has fixed costs, right? The impact is immediate for him. Even this did not satisfy them. Just try to think that even after doing so much, even after working 12 to 12 hours, you cannot earn dollars. For any international dealings, even to trade with a neighbor, you need dollars. Even after working 12 hours, it is not happening while they are just casually printing currency and having fun, passing on the entire inflation to everyone. The bill for their lifestyle is being carried by the other 100 nations who are working hard to pay for it. And when this was finally discovered, well, you have to go get a loan. So they set up the IMF and World Bank and said, go there and take a dollar loan. The moment you go to the IMF, a whole list of conditions appears. I will be the one to decide your defense policy. I will decide your foreign policy and I will decide your trade policy. Now go take the loan in dollars. So by the late 90s, the euro was launched. And to counter it, they went and tweaked the banking regulations. Investment banking can be mixed with commercial banking. This means if an American is putting money into their account, the banks were given complete freedom to play with it in the stock market without asking the customer. Why? Because the euro currency had been launched and a whole bubble of the reserve currency had gathered in the IT sector. So how were they going to save its value? So the American public's money was approved to be used to play in the stock market without asking them. Investment banking mixed with commercial banking. Then they dragged NATO into the war in Yugoslavia, brought down the value of the euro. And as soon as Europe found out that this had happened to them, they said, we will no more park our savings in US dollars in treasury. And along with that, the reserve currency bubble built up in the fake IT sector burst violently in what we now call the dot-com crash of 2002. Very smartly, instead of calling it a de-dollarization, it was called the dot-com crash. Because if they called it de-dollarization, the IT sector would realize that the entire sector is fake. A 78% valuation loss for the IT sector happened in a single day in 2002.